This is the plaintiff, Tammy Eldridge. She says she paid the defendant for a room for her daughter to live in. And less than 2 months later, the woman kicked her daughter out. She cleaned up the room and even got down on her hands and knees and scrubbed the floor. But the sneaky defendant refuses to return her security deposit. And she's here in the name of justice, suing for the $1,083.87 she's owed. This is the defendant, Julianne. She says the plaintiff never paid a security deposit. She paid for first and last month's rent. The plaintiff's daughter was a slob who left open and rotting food in the room, and she stunk up the whole place. Bottom line, the plaintiff's daughter moved out early, leaving her high and dry, and she's not required to give her any money back. She's accused of refusing a rent refund.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff paid the defendant for a room for her daughter. The defendant kicked the kid out. But the defendant says the plaintiff's daughter was a pig who left rotting food in the place. It's the case of E-I-E-I owe you nothing.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Eldridge, this is your daughter?
Yes.
And you had decided to put your house for sale and help her with, I guess, her first apartment, was it, or not really?
Yeah, she just needed a room for her to rent.
Right, is this the first time she moves out of the house?
Yes.
Okay, and how old are you?
25.
All right, so you found her a room at your place. Are you a tenant or?
I own a house,
Okay.
and I rent rooms, usually have 1 or 2 roommates at a time
Okay.
to help with expenses.
All right, so how did you find her place?
We found it on Craigslist.
All right.
She's actually local.
Okay.
In town. So.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of in your backyard. So.
Right, okay, so you find her, you look at the place, you look at the place, you like it.
Yep. Yeah,
You're
we met.
excited, it's your first move out?
Yep.
A little bit? All right,
Yeah.
how'd it go? Not so good. What happened? Well, let me ask you, what happened?
When she moved in, I noticed things little by little as far as the uncleanliness, things like leaving poop on the toilet seat, leaving rotten food, the smell from
Leaving
her
food
room.
rotting where?
In the refrigerator. There was also food in her room, and there was a smell whenever she opened the door. I did try to talk to her about these things.
What'd you say?
That she just needed to clean up, do a better job cleaning up and helping, with that by cleaning up after herself.
And
And she said, okay.
And
when she didn't, I did talk to her mother, since her mother, was the holder of the rent and the payer. So she said that she would talk to her, and she did talk to her. She came over, she cleaned, and it got a little better for like a day, and then it continued. And I decided that I couldn't live like this. So I did tell her that the lease would be ending on November 30th.
when did you say that?
October 3rd.
Okay. And what was your response to her when she said, look, I'll give her until the 30th?
Well, she had called me the second time to say that Alyssa was not doing what she was supposed to do. She couldn't live with her anymore, and she needed her to be gone, even though we wanted to try to keep her till January or February so she could finish school.
Right, but when you say she said, I need her to be gone, she didn't
Yeah.
say, get her out of here today.
She wanted her gone.
She said
She did
November, end of November, right?
She said she could stay till December 1st if I didn't find her a place to stay.
Are you saying, listen to what you just said, so I want to make sure that you mean to say that. She said you had a choice. She could either stay until December 1st or you could find her another place right away? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying she said?
Yeah, she said, I can't live with her anymore, but I had just paid October's rent, and she had the first month's deposit. So technically, Alyssa was paid up till December 1st.
Right. What was it you said to her
I
about...
told her she had till November 30th because I understand that I can't just kick somebody out.
Yeah, but did you ask her to leave sooner if she found a place?
I did not.
Okay, so if she said to you 2 weeks later, you thought it would take longer to find a place. What did that mean? If 2 weeks later she said, we found a place, then what?
If she had communicated with me and not moved her daughter out while I was at work and just sent me a text message saying she's moving her out, and then a few minutes later I got another text message saying I'm gone, then I would have had communication and notice and been able to try to advertise the room and take care of things sooner.
Okay, but you had immediate notice that day when you got home or got the text, which was all in the same day, so that didn't delay things.
But she was already gone.
I think what you felt was like it was leaving in the middle, like it was surreptitious or something, and it bothered you.
Yeah, it wasn't really that it offended me. It really shocked me. that I was
It
stuck
gave
at
you a lot
work,
more time, though, to advertise for November.
and I didn't, you know,
It gave you immediate time. It gave you the soonest time possible to advertise for November. Did you advertise for November?
I did.
And you weren't able to
I
re-rent?
did not get
Did
a
you
tenant.
re-rent it for December?
No,
January?
I did not.
February?
I had the roommate
March?
that had moved out, moved back in because Alyssa had moved out.
Okay. Now, Alyssa, I'm gonna take it to you, honey. What is that? The mattress? What is that? My daughter's room? What is that? These are not good ideas. These bring ants and bugs, and they're gross and smells and et cetera, et cetera. All right. So you move out and you ask her for the last 2 weeks in October back and November back. And she says what?
She said, yes, but I don't have it right now. You'll have to wait till I get paid.
Okay, so you did originally agree to return it. What happened?
Honestly, I originally agreed, and then I read up on what my rights were and that I could hold on to that rent because she had broken the lease. So that was my understanding of it. I do want to say, too, the room was not left in sterling condition. It smelled awful. I had to air it out by
Do you have
air
pictures of that?
fresheners just
Right,
for the room.
It's hard to give me pictures of
Yeah,
smell.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't put a label on the smell.
Why are you so messy? You're 25. Why aren't you cleaning up after yourself?
So, generally speaking, are tenants slobs?
Well, generally speaking, I can't say yes or no. Actually, it
Okay, then who can? Okay, who can?
No, it depends on the person.
Okay.
I'm a tenant, I'm not
You're
a
a
slob.
tenant?
And I'm not a slob.
Do you leave crap on the floor?
No, I do not.
Do you leave stuff on the floor?
No, but
Oh, everybody's so lying down here. Going inside the courtroom.
I will admit I do have issues occasionally. I do suffer from like anxiety and a learning disability.
Oh, when I'm
so-
anxious, you know what I do? I clean like crazy. No, I'm serious. I'm not making fun of you.
Let's ask
I
her if
get
she can
anxious
teach
and I clean like crazy because it is one area of my life where I have control. You see? But when you are living with other people, you have to have consideration for the other people, whether the other people is your mother or the other people is a landlord. You know what I mean? There's no written agreement, by the way, for the tenancy, right?
No.
Is there a check that has the rent payment on it that says what it's for?
Yeah, I have all 4 of them.
May I see the checks and see, are you a memo line writer?
Yes?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
First and last month. September rent, October rent, food replacement. So you added another $50 to the rent because she was complaining that she was taking her food.
Yes.
Did she ask for $50 or you just
I
didn't
did
want to
not.
have a problem?
She just told me, I said, well, what was it? And she said, you know, a can of spaghetti, pasta, and sauce.
Wow, that
And
must have been some can of spaghetti and
And,
pasta.
you know, there were other things as well, cookies, whipped cream, peanut butter, just whatever she wanted to eat of mine, she ate.
All right.
So after that one, to answer your question, when I had that text and said, when are we going to send it? She goes, I'm going to send you the check next week. And that's when I got the certified letter saying that I had broken a verbal contract. So I didn't leave a voicemail telling her I was disappointed because I felt like we'd had a working relationship. There was never any animosity or swearing, yelling, anything. Actually helped her out on a couple of different occasions. And then I even said to her, I said, you know, if you want, just keep October's rent, just give me back the $600.
I think that's the right thing to do. I think that it was a very kind of loosey-goosey discussion between you two that makes it hard for a trier of fact in a court of law to say, well, she definitely kicked her out, or she definitely gave her permission to leave early, or she agreed to stay until the end of November. It's much more amorphous than that. You know, you're already there, you're in the middle of October. She could have stayed until the end of November. She ended up moving back in with you, right?
Yes.
Right. And I'm going to order the return of the November rent. I think that's the right way to resolve this. So no, I think I'm going to return the last 2 weeks in October and the November rent. I think that's the right way to resolve it. Because once the landlord lets you look for another option, I think that that's kind of permission to go ahead and look for another option. So I'm going to order the $600 from November as well as $300 for October, which is half of October. So I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the judge decides you have to give $900 back to the plaintiff. What are you thinking?
I am okay with that. That is her decision, and it's not what I agree with the Connecticut laws, but I'm going to take it because that's her decision.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Hope you rent the room out someday.
Thank you so
Okay?
much.
You're welcome. The door is that way. Thank you very much. Ms. Eldridge, I guess you're feeling better at this point.
Yes, I am. Very happy.
Interesting. Interesting case indeed. So you are now in your house,
Yes.
and you indicated you're trying to get her on her own. Are you having luck with that?
Sometimes,
or
yeah.
What are you going to
It's
do?
a work in progress.
Yeah.
You know, she's 25. She does have some learning disabilities, but she's taken them head on, and she's graduated massage therapy school and waiting to take her MBLEX.
Okay.
So-
Well, good luck to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, you know, it may have worked out for the plaintiff here, but when you deviate from the lease, whether you're a landlord or a tenant, get it in writing. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.